What it is, long time no see. Hey, let me tell you why it's so important for you to have a creative outlet. If you got one, great. If you don't, great. We gonna make sure you get one. Let me tell you your options and why this is so important. Let's get right into it. Click the thumbs up button and leave a comment and share it. Go. Okay, so first of all, let me tell you something. You do not realize, or maybe you do, but the most significant thing about you is your ability to create things, aka bring things into existence that do not yet exist, or at least not in this material world, right? All right, so I see so many people in life, they'll get so caught up in the material world with increasing their status, putting in work, trying to get money, stuff, all of this stuff that has to do with basically working, right? But a lot of people easily forget that it's very, 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 very important to make sure that you have a creative outlet to decompress. There's so many people who say stuff like, I work so much, I don't know how to relax. There's so many people who say stuff like, oh man, I really need a vacation. Bro, you could take a mental vacation a lot easier than you could actually go somewhere on vacation. Of course, you should do both. All right, yeah, sure. But the creative one actually is arguably more beneficial, and here's why. Whenever you create something that doesn't yet exist, it proves to you a few things. It proves to you that you are still very much so close and closely related to the creation. Okay? Also, it proves to you how powerful you are, because you're able to do something that makes you unique, that you create something that is unique, that will make you feel as though basically nobody is able to duplicate what I do, so I must be special. So what I'm saying is it'll boost your self-esteem, which in return it'll boost your self-confidence and give you more of a sense of purpose, because you'll recognize that you're important. You'll realize that you're so special that you're able to do things that nobody else could even do. Of course, generally speaking, somebody else can paint, somebody else can do pottery, somebody else can do acting, drawing, singing, dancing. I could go on and on, creative writing, etc. But nobody can do it like you. Nobody can do it exactly how you do it. And when you realize how important it is to recognize the ways in which you're unique in a world full of clones, bro, it is a big deal. It really is. And you shouldn't take it lightly. It's not something where you just be like, oh yeah, I work enough, and when I'm done working, I just relax, or I get high, or I drink alcohol, or whatever it is that you do, right? That's not enough. Being creative is arguably the most important thing to do in life. The most important thing to do in life is creating new things, okay? That's not something that I even think is arguable, but I'm just trying to be a little unbiased at times, you know what I mean? But it's so important, and let me just mention to you a few of your options, even though I just mentioned quite a few of them, but let me tell you the ones that I feel like could do the most for you. If you feel like you're not one of those people who are very creative, let me tell you how to boost your creativity. First of all, you got to realize there's only so many options. You could print something, you could draw something, sculpt something, build something. All of that stuff is kind of seen as the same thing. You could be some sort of engineer slash architect by making monuments, like I said, sculptures, but also you could be an engineer of things that cannot be seen, like with audio, right? You could make music, you could write songs, you could make beats, you could be a true music producer, you could work on cars, you could build a car. Like, bro, you could do hair, bro. I could go on and on and on. But I think it's very important for people to recognize why I'm telling people, hey, it's actually a big deal if you don't have a creative outlet. Because if you don't have a creative outlet, how are you really expressing yourself? Bro, creative expression is who we are. Like, we are a creative expression. This customized avatar that you got, the body that you have, nobody else has that exact same body. Nobody has that exact same dental structure, hair type, etc. DNA. Like, that's such a big deal, because if somebody was creative enough, or if you were creative enough to come into existence and be you. But then whenever you start doing that, you don't realize how important it is to also continue that process by being created and also doing creation by continuing to create things that could also turn into more things potentially. Because of course, if you're giving birth to new thought forms and stuff like that, normally something like it influences something else, and you're going to end up creating something else that is related to or not related to it in a way in which it could end up being like even more unique. Hopefully you get what I'm saying. Like, for example, if I make a song, I create a song, I'm gonna learn some things about what I feel like works and what doesn't. I might end up making another song later that goes with those same things that I learned with this song, and then with the next song it's gonna be even better, and I'm gonna improve. Go ahead, bro. You gotta like be willing to be one of those people who is like, you get stuff going, but you also do things that piggyback off of each other. So you could start in one thing, right? Like, for example, if you're sewing and knitting, you could start making hats. You might mess around and get so good at making hats, you're like, shoot, I done mastered this, John. Now I'm making shirts. Okay, cool. Now you're making whole shirts. You ever see somebody crochet a whole shirt? I haven't, but hey, if you do that, hit me up, because that sounds crazy. But it's a big deal to make sure that you're doing things that can make you evolve. When you're being creative, you're forcing yourself to evolve and get better at something, because naturally you're going to be critical. Cooking is another one. You're going to eat that food, you're going to taste it, you're going to be like, I could have added a little more pepper, a little bit more salt, maybe a little less of this, that. Bruh, that is going to make you criticize your creations, and it's going to make you even better at getting what you want out of life. Because of course, this shit, big picture, is really about getting other things in this reality, because you're influencing it. So whenever you're influencing this reality, you got to recognize that if you want to improve your ability to get what you want out of life, you have to work those creative muscles out. You have to be a more creative person. You got to basically pull strings and work them out consistently in order for the muscles to get big. Hopefully you get where I'm coming from, bro. And I'm not doing consultations no more anytime soon. But if you got a couple of questions, hit me up on Instagram or something. Till next time.